up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your man, Governor Wildstar. I know I look a little different today, but you know, it is still yours truly, the one and only Governor Wildstar. I'm here on the Black Side of Liberty. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you for jumping in for this very special Independence Day special. As you can see, there's a lot that's new going on here on the Black Side of Liberty, and that's a few things that I do want to talk to you about before I introduce my guest to you. Anybody and everybody out there watching, I appreciate all of your support, especially those of you that are subscribing to my YouTube channel. You're definitely helping me improve my numbers and grow my audience. So please continue to share my videos. I definitely appreciate all of what you're doing. And definitely be sure to spread the word. Let people know to subscribe to Governor Wildstar on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and on Twitter, and all that good stuff, so we can stay connected and get this liberty movement going at a rapid pace more than ever before. Definitely continue sharing these videos, sharing other posts off of my social media. And of course, be sure to donate. I got my man Anthony in the house. He says, yo, Ball Liberty fam. You like for sure, bro. Yeah, I mean, this is Wildstar 2020. You know what I'm saying? We got to get ready for the second half of this year. And it's a lot going on, so we got to be prepared by making sure that we are physically ready, as well as mentally ready, and spiritually ready as well. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce to you a very humble soul brother of mine, since I am talking about spiritual friendliness and all of that good stuff and what being a positive spirit can do, because it's attracted this man into my world. And I want to introduce you to him. His name is TJ Shelton. What's up, brother TJ, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty.
Hey, what's up, brother Wildstar? How you doing?
Hey, wonderful. Anybody that is out there watching, please be sure to drop comments like my man Anthony here, who says, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. I guess he on that roller height, on that pandemic panic shit. But hey, we wash our hands all the time around here. I mean, naturally, that's what we should be doing, is clean human beings, you know, that are being conscious of our cleanliness, and yeah, just practicing good hygiene. But anyways, definitely drop comments like my man Anthony, and questions as well throughout the show. But anyways, TJ, thank you for being on the Black Side of Liberty. Like I said, the world has brought us together, man, for so many reasons. And he actually is a resident here in Fresno, and he voted for me. That's actually how we ended up connecting. Was he contacted me and he said, hey, why the hell should I vote for you? So we started talking more. We started talking more and more, had great conversations, and I just deduced personally that he's a white black supremacist. I mean, we all know what a black white, what a black white supremacist is, thanks to Dave Chappelle. But my man here, I even told him he's the blackest white person that I know, and that's because when it comes to being a black person, a being of light, our culture of knowledge, you are definitely the epitome of that. And I see that in you, that beautiful spirit. And when it comes to the knowledge of the melanated person, you are very well versed in that as well. More than most people, most black people and people of color themselves. So that's why I extend, that moniker to you. But I want to talk to you about that, because when it comes to black supremacy, I don't know if you heard in the news, you got your man Terry Crews out there talking about black supremacy shouldn't replace white supremacy. And that's a big misconception, is that black supremacy is equal to white supremacy. So people have this idea of what they think of white supremacy, that if black people want that, it's going to be exactly the same. Like he just tweeted again, black is better. And, it's again going to be that equivalency of white supremacy. So I do pride myself on being the black nationalist and the black supremacist. Tell the people out there, if you could break it down, what is black supremacy to you?
Not a threat.
First and foremost, right?
Right.
Let's get that out of the way, you know? Not a threat. Okay, continue.
The way I see it is I'm not for any form of any type of a purebred ideology that is to the isolation of other people in any way, shape, or form. I know that that the white side of this has been exactly that, right? In past, I know that I can't trust them to have humility and deal with other humans as humans. If we're talking about it, dividing it along ethnicity and historically, like I know I can't trust them. So, I mean, what's my options? I mean, give me some options. I would rather put a whole bunch more brothers up in charge of this here government and see how that turns out than keep letting it go like it's been going. Come on, man. How can you not be there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that seems to be a big concern also, is that if we let these black people get in charge, you know, they're going to
We
get
need them to be, man. We need them to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like you said, if the desire to help the black community isn't by means of force or violence,
Right. Amen. Absolutely.
and that's really what black empowerment is about. That's really
and they need to be in the driver's seat. They need to be in the driver's seat. We need to see them get into the driver's seat and be driving in their own mission of what they want to do, not like plugging into some team of system that's already here that really wasn't built like that.
Yeah, and let me see, because that's another thing too. I guess when people's interpretation of black supremacy, especially when you have ignorant people like Terry Crews, who is a black man, not properly explaining it, not properly even having an understanding of it themselves.
Amen. That's what I'm going to say. A lack of understanding of the person making money off of comedic value within a problem.
Exactly. And I really feel like people like him are just perpetuating more stereotypes by not actually approaching the conversation civilly and then wanting to discuss it thoroughly like we are right now. You know, especially when it comes to historically what the Black Power movement, Black liberation movement has always been about. It's always been about freedom of oppression, you know, economic equality.
Serving the community.
Exactly.
Serving the community.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's been the root. That's been the roots of it. It's always been about serving the community. Any young man coming up and out of being poor wants to make sure grandma don't live like she did when she was raising him, because whoever wasn't really towing the line of their responsibility. And it is what it is. You know, I mean, I know a lot of young men that their dream in life is to make grandma comfy. Not necessarily moms, but grandma.
Right. Well, it's a legacy thing as well. You know, when we're trying to build an empire and we don't have much to work from, typically the majority of white people's wealth is from inheritance. But it's not that way with black people. We end up creating our own in this dog eat dog world, and then want to pay it back to those, you know, who I guess went through the trials and tribulations and the strife to create that life for us. I mean, personally, I think it's counterproductive. I want to be able to make sure that I build a legacy for my child, for the next generation. I don't want him to buy me a house someday. I don't want him to take care of me someday. That's not his responsibility, you know? So I think black people need to talk to, you know, have that conversation where we need to stop doing all of that shit, because culturally it's become this thing where we got to take care of mom, buy her a house. We got to make sure Pops had that car that he wanted, the whole time, which is cool. You can do stuff like that, gestures. But when it comes to, again, building that wealth that you want to pass on to be generational, how are you going to be able to invest in others when you can't even invest in yourselves? And it's a lot of people don't even know where money comes from. It's just basic understandings, information like that. And that actually is another thing that I want to talk to you about, because both you and I have been in the Black Lives Matter events here in Fresno. You more than I, definitely, I would say.
yeah, a lot more.
Every day, a lot more. Right. I would have to contact his ass to tell me where the hell is going down. But anyways, you've been involved in the Black Lives Matter protests, and as well as other events here in the city. And when it comes to the Black agenda, us wanting to get away from oppression, especially when
Black agenda.
Hey, it is what it is. The main,
I love you. Go ahead.
We have labeled it. The mainstream media, the fucking political whatever circle.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
We're gonna play with these whole generalized terms just for the time being, but we can discuss that another day. But anyway, So when it comes to Black Lives Matter as an organization achieving the Black agenda, as far as, again, getting away from the whole abuse of authority by police departments and criminal justice reform, systemic racism, etc. Do you see them as actually being an organization of achieving that? And does Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter? Because a lot of white people argue that too. They say, hey, well, if Black Lives Matter really to the Black Lives Matter people, then you would stop the community, black on black crime. You would care about, black kids being not having a black father in home. You would care about these other issues that so-called affect the black community. But that's not what Black Lives Matter, the organization, is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about criminal justice reform only, or at least the message. So what I've gathered, but they since expanded. And a lot of what they're demanding as an organization, like defunding the police, and I don't know what the hell else they're wanting right now, but they're definitely not calling for, the end of the drug war. They're not making a call to the end of that, since that has definitely helped hurt the black community. So I want to ask you, from
a little bit,
all of what you've experienced from being involved with, what's been going on, and what you see yourself, does Black Lives Matter to the organization?
I don't know too many people within the .org, right? I'm not too concerned about that .org, that group. They are who they are. I have friends here locally, and I know local pastors, and I know some local youth, and I have men that I associate with locally that we all showed out for Black Lives Matter because Black Lives Matter. As far as the org that's behind it, that I haven't had any really dealings with them per se, other than being at events that they put on, that I'm thankful that somebody turned on a faucet so that there was money to do it, if that's what it took. I'm not sure what it took to get it going, but I like the idea of there being boots on the ground type protest in this system that we're in, because we are such a deceived people.
You're right about that, and you're right about the money part, because that's a big deceptive part of it as well. A lot of people, they don't
get into the root of the deception there.
Exactly. They don't follow the money. And Black Lives Matter is an organization that's been astroturfed. If people don't know what the term means, it's basically a grassroots organization that's pretending to be something that's being organically created when really is being funded by big corporate interests. And George Soros was one of the first few people that dumped a shitload of money into the Black Lives Matter organization. Okay. People remember, he just made the distinction. It's two different things. The Black Lives Matter organization is not a true representation of what the people actually involved on the streets, on the grassroots level, the boots on the ground, that's pounding the pavement. They don't know, they don't give a damn about none of what they're doing, their political agenda, their political beliefs, or whatever the case may be, but they're all being lumped together, and it's awful, but yeah.
There's a lot of them that don't like the fact that the org has put so many different things on the same platform that shouldn't be about so many different things. They've made it into something that it's not as far as the org goes, and it is what it is. They corped up, right? They become a corporate little entity, and now they can do their thing, and there ain't much we can do about that. If you don't like it, bring something better.
And how can you when they got millions, you know what I'm saying, in the bank, hundreds of millions of dollars now, thanks to these George Floyd protests. And that's the thing. You people got to recognize fucking patterns here. Every time a nigga gets shot, what happens? They hit the streets, they make some noise, and then they make a call for donations. And then the donations start raking in. And it's been happening since they've been created, since I guess their origination in 2013. So they've been around for 7 years doing this shit, having done a damn thing. The organization with millions of dollars, the three sisters that founded this. Check it out. But anyways, yeah. So they have all of this.
But we need to figure out how to reconnect and empower the Black family unit, to give the Black man traction in the family. Quit incentivizing the separation of the two. It's like when the system that was started our whole welfare system was put in, it was geared in a way that encouraged the family to separate, because if he was in the house, he had to have a job, and if he made $500 a week, they took $750. So basically, they were at a $250 net loss for him to be even on the paperwork. And smart money moved how smart money did, but what it did do is created a break in the household where the man was able to be dismissed as unnecessary by the use of social services and law enforcement and all kinds of things that broke the familial unit and the male authority in it. And that's the reality of what a lot of what's behind some of these underlying conditions that people seem to be waking up and paying attention to all of a sudden. Hallelujah. Wake up.
Good. Yeah, exactly. You're right about that. And it's sad that those connections about the broken justice system on that level hasn't been spoken of more either.
Don't fit the narrative.
Yeah, exactly. They're controlling the narrative, and that's the thing.
There's unity on that path. That's dangerous for those capitalist folk. Not that I'm against capitalism. I'm pro-capitalism, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the thing. We already talked about that. Real talk, real quick. Capitalism is not crony capitalism.
Amen.
Capitalism is okay. If you got a good idea and I got some money,
it's mandatory. It's not okay. It's part of what makes this thing pump.
Exactly. Shit, that's how we became this great nation that we are. It's innovation and people capitalizing on that idea. That's why we are a capitalist nation, and we should continue to utilize the power of capitalism by way of the free market. A crony capitalistic society is one where they are monopolizing every fucking thing, which is exactly what we're living in. They're monopolizing fucking what is this right now? What do you want to call it? Political movement or
COVID-19?
Yeah, oh, that's been oh hell yeah.
They're monopolizing everything, homie.
All right, that's another situation that we'll talk about. But I want to move on to more things on the agenda here, because there's a lot I want to talk to you about during this special here. And usually I ask about 6 questions, but I ended up brainstorming about 10. So we'll get through them. Not only you, but all of you people out there with your short ass attention spans. Hopefully, we're talking about some good shit here. And if you don't think so, like I said, drop a fucking comment or question and say something about it. But anyway,
what's up?
Another thing that we've talked about, you and I, is reparations, okay? And how to come about achieving that, because that's another thing on the Black Lives Matter agenda, I guess, that they're pushing right now. And here in California, Senator Shirley Weber, whatever, Assembly Member Shirley Weber or whatever, pushed a bill or has passed a bill through the state assembly that offers reparations to the Black people in the state of California. I don't know if that pertains to if you are a native of California, or because I'm from Wisconsin. I've been here for 20 years though. And you know, I spent my entire adult life in California, and I've been working, tax paying, you know, Black circuit. And I guess if I'm going to be considered in getting back some of that chunk of change, it's about going through that process. And right now, they're pushing this bill through, they're rushing it through. And reparations is one thing that has been discussed, but they're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to figure out who's going to pay for it, who's eligible for it, who's going to run the show. Of course, it's going to be government because they want to make some money off of it. But
they riding the herds, homie. Riding the herd.
Exactly.
Ladder out, climb up.
Right. So, of course, white people, you know, the white majority, because you have the white minority that are all for it, and then you have the white majority that are just like, fuck that shit. And they have their reasons. And I'm in the Black minority, and where I say fuck that shit, and I have my reasons. So when it comes to reparations being a fair deal, is it something that can be achieved here in America successfully, to where the Black people in this country actually feel like there's been some atonement and some financial compensation for their suffering?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I am a supporter of the idea of 2 things: restitution and reparations. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, as far as restitution goes, I would say that there are a lot of historical patent infringements and issues in the past that much of the community should be able to take advantage of to leverage for assets from some rather large corporations. That's how my first approach would be, to seek restitution from specific corporations that you and I have had discussions about before. And that's a whole nother subject. Like, we could go on that for a long time. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it that's very reasonable. And I don't care about statute of limitations. We don't. No, shut up. Statute of limitations don't count here. It really don't. If we want to look at lay the whole thing out, man, statute of limitations do not count in this. And that's real. Anyway, and there's a lot of restitution ability there that I think you should be able to win legally in a court of law as it currently stands right now. That's my thoughts. I'm no lawyer, though. I'm an electrician. As far as reparations, I think we should release federal lands. I think we should release federal lands around some of these nice lakes up here that we currently pay to maintain, and release those to investment groups that want to build community, and the money that you earn from releasing that to people who are financially capable and able. Somebody like Mr. West, I don't know, might be interested in doing something like that. The money that you get from that don't you shake your head? You don't like him, whatever. I don't. It's not to me who. I don't really care who. Not me. Which God? It's got to be. It's got to be. Anyway, somebody with money who wanted to invest in building a community and then release a whole bunch of smaller parcels and take the money from that to build small off-grid houses that aren't on the North American utility grid because we don't trust them. And those should be granted first and foremost to Black men. And if we want to fix the Black family, what we're going to do is re-empower the Black man who will be the one to fix the Black family. The only thing that I put on the same platform as that, if you ask me, is potentially, and it's not on the same platform, but the women's struggle. Okay, in a patriarchal society, she walks in the skin that she's in, and crap happens to her relative to what it is. Okay, so that's, to me, that's the only struggle that should be anywhere near on the same platform as the Black man's in the United States, which in turn has destroyed the Black family in so many ways. And I know there's all kinds of people who make it out. Yay, good for them. Hopefully they like the kind of guys who turn around and reach up and try and help people, other people up and out. No, there's a lot of different guys, and I know guys that do invest into the community when they make it, and that's what we need, is people like that. You know, we have people who make it and they turn around and try and help somebody else make it and give back.
Yeah,
And
you're right about that.
Tons of them.
You're right about that, but unfortunately, we don't see a lot of that happening in the Black community, and that's
and you wouldn't see it advertised too much if you did, because it goes against the narrative of keeping us in this divisive camp thing that they've got going on. So, hey, anyway, whatever.
But yeah, I mean, you got like Puff Daddy, you got fucking T.I., you got Kanye West, like you said, you got all of these people, that have millions of dollars, if not billions or more between all of them. There has been no constructive way to rebuild that, even though they present the same type of arguments to where they say, hey, well, we need to be building our own. First of all, there has been only one true Black owned record label, and that was Death Row Records. Okay? All of the rest of them were just merely puppets. Reason being is because distribution, we talked about this when it comes to Black owned and operated. If you have a Black owned label and it is being distributed and marketed and promoted through a white company like Universal Records, or Priority Records, or whatever fucking major record label that's out there, then those companies are reaping the benefits again off of Black people's labor. So you're not truly independent. You can't claim yourself to be. Def Jam is not and never was an independent label. If you want to have it, create your own. With these artists having all the star power in the world, they don't need the distribution. They don't need the marketing. They don't need any of that anymore because they have their namesake. So they could easily drop an album, sell, 10 million copies, and, take every dollar of that in and then reinvest that into the Black community. So you're right about Black men stepping up to the plate. That's why I've been running for office, because I feel like as a Black man, I would be able to provide those solutions through the political channels to provide those solutions. And when we're talking about with reparations, you're right. There are federal lands that could definitely be offered up to those Black people that
won't cost any money. You can actually make some money out of it. Spend less on maintenance. Actually have some humility and show that you actually give a crap. Like, try and do something. Like, honestly make an effort.
If you had Abraham Lincoln come along with the Emancipation Proclamation and then say, hey, I'm going to give you all 40 acres and a mule, then where's our 40 acres? Where's that mule? I would love to have the money, that is valued at, if you don't want to give me my damn 40 acres and a mule. So when it comes to that being the offer on the table and I guess being fulfilled to the black people of America. That promise has yet to be fulfilled. We could definitely do that on the leadership level. As a black governor, I definitely would be able to do that. And also with restitution, which you're talking about, which will also be a quicker way for black people to actually receive financial compensation,
Amen.
suing the companies actually found liable, like Chase Bank, like AI.
Like DuPont,
Yeah,
Dow Chemicals, DuPont.
sue their asses. And that's what I would do as governor. I would assign the attorney general of the state to sue these companies on behalf of the black people in California, and they would get paid just like that. Those are real solutions. So fuck your Black Lives Matter leaders claiming that they want to help the black community. This is how you get shit done instantly, immediately. Now, we're going to move along because another thing that Black
we could dwell here a while.
What did you say?
I said we could dwell here a while.
I know, right? I could go on about this shit because it's like it angers me how they use black people's emotions against them.
Yeah. And there's people that are doing things. Look at that.
What's that?
There's people that are doing things in teams and places. Look at you. You're doing things in a place. What you call it? Mr. West. I don't know what he's doing with it, but he's got thousands of acres and planning on building something, is what he said. We'll see what it is. I'll look forward to seeing what he builds. Hopefully he's smart and don't put it on their power grid.
I'm pretty sure it's not. You know what I'm saying? Some portion of that is still being owned by the bank, still being operated and controlled by the establishment. And my man here, Jeremiah, says he doesn't agree with restitution. This generation of Americans aren't responsible for what the generations of the past did. No one from 100 years ago to present owned any slaves. But they did. He's right about that. But they did.
I agree with both of those.
They did that.
But it happened in our nation, right? And we could see the history of how it happened intentionally over long amounts of time, very specifically shotgun aimed at the head of the black man. Poor people got caught in the overspray. I was poor white. I got caught in the overspray. Anyway, so I can empathize, sympathize, whatever you want to call it. I get what it's like to struggle, right? And there's a lot of people, man, in like silver spoony areas that never had the gumption to really gulp too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it doesn't matter about this generation not actually being involved with slavery. This generation or baby boomers or the older generation have benefited from it. And it's been passed down. That wealth has been passed down. That land has been passed down. Where does it again end up being that American promise to the black community that has served it, that has sacrificed for it, that we will definitely take care of you? And reparations is not restitution. My man said he's against restitution, when again restitution is directly responsible. Reparations is everybody being claimed to be responsible and then everybody paying for it, which means me. I would still end up paying for it as the damn taxpayer because they'd be taking my taxes that I'm working and paying and etc.
Not under my model.
And then paying it back to me through this whole reparation payment or whatever the fuck it means.
Not under my model. Not under my model. Bull crap. We release federal and state lands and let people build up those economies. We're gonna have a bubble up economy. I don't want no trickle down. I'm not trying to get the drippings off of something above me. Anyway. I'm not. We need to bubble up. We need to give people resources and some hope at the end to go fight and get something, that they're building something on something that's theirs, and watch what happens in a bubble up style around here.
Right. All right. So speaking of bubbling up, there's been a lot of things bubbling up around town about this whole Confederate monument deal and people wanting to tear them down. So I want to touch on that really quickly. because that's also been a demand of this whole Black Lives Matter movement, or whatever the hell they're doing out there, revolution, is to tear down these monuments and I guess just have them be gone. And a lot of it stems from those people in those cities where they do exist, petitioning city officials, asking them year after year, decade after decade, take this sign down, take this flag down, take this, statue down, and them not doing it. So the people are now taking it into their own hands to remove those statues, and you have people out there defending the statues, saying it's their heritage. And that's one thing that I want to talk to you about, because you have a great population of the white community that cling to Confederacy being part of American heritage, and they should be able to fly a Confederate battle flag, different flags, but carry a Confederate battle flag and it not carry the stigma of its origins. So why are Confederate monuments even American history? I mean, because you even had Trump. Trump, dumbass, came on TV and said, if we get rid of the statues, history is bound to repeat itself. Are you kidding me? So without a statue, all of a sudden people are going to be like, okay, well, now, I want to go out and own people and, stupidity. You go, don't let it break you too much. You got some All Lives Matter people on here. Tiffany Kramer says all lives.
Well, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, right? And unless Black Lives Matter, then all lives naturally don't matter because you've discluded them. And technically, we've stacked the deck in that situation around here for a long time. Somebody shared on the Book of Faces about this lady saying it's like you played Monopoly for 400 rounds and you developed and you got everything going. Now all of a sudden we allowed to start moving, and you wonder why not winning. Like, and I get that perspective. I also get that you have the ability in America to like come from the bottom to the top, right? That's the whole capitalist. Yeah. That's the whole capitalist venture, and we like that. They depegged the dollar and they really screwed things up, and it was a labor versus capital issue that just got out of control when the gold and silver got depegged from our currency. And we've been riding that road to destruction for a long time. I think America's only hope is if she takes a knee and repents in this and tries to say really that I'm sorry, we get it, we want to do something to fix it and come at it hard so that we can all be on the same team. Right now we got such different opinions of American history. Like you got the native, you got the Mexican, you got the brothers, you got all different people with different perspectives. You got guys in Pakistan that got a view of how our history has gone in these past 20 something years that might have some things that people should consider. Here's the thing, like that's where we are. And the question, what are we gonna do? Are we mice or men? Like, we woke up in it, we here, and this is what has happened. This is, the deck has been stacked in this way, and these are the things that are going on right now if you really look at it. And the question today is like, what are we gonna do about it? Like, are we gonna do anything about it at all, or are we gonna just like let it fly and continue to ignore it and kick the can down the road? I thought President Trump was the guy who was like, if something was done wrong, then I don't need to ask for forgiveness because I just try to make corrections to what was wrong. That's what he said about himself. He said he's not a person who seeks forgiveness. I'm a maggot. I seek forgiveness. I might step on some toes, and I'm a maggot, and sometimes I got to ask for forgiveness, and it is what it is. But he says he doesn't ask for forgiveness because he tries to make things right. Well, he's the executive of the United States right now. If he's trying to make things right, show me the money. The money. Turn around, sidestep, and really be an American president.
But you're right about leadership. Somebody just made a comment about how it all started when Trump got into office with regards to them tearing them down. You got to do your homework, man. There was tearing down of Confederate statues while Obama was in office. It's like you people
Yeah,
just
that's true. That's
fucking.
true. That's
What's
true.
wrong with you people? You can Google shit. Don't
Hey,
do
look, I'm not for graven images.
this
Okay? I'm
fucking
not a big
phone.
statue fan.
What's that?
I'm not for graven images, man. We should be serving the living. We don't got time and money to be erecting a bunch of statues to people, this, that, or the other. We got problems on the ground. Like if we don't, if our political class don't get it figured out, they got pitchforks coming for them soon.
But that's the contradictory part of it all. Is it's okay. And let's say, for instance, Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany existed. We know. You go to Germany right now. Do they have a statue of Hitler erected? Do they have any damn Nazi statues standing around to remind the people that this is what happened, just so they won't repeat it? And why do the German people not embrace it as part of their history, so much so to where they hold on to it so dear and fight for it like Americans do for this white nationalism?
You really want to know?
I do. If you got some bit of an inkling,
I got one. You know, here's the thing. You are a libertarian person, right?
yeah,
Okay. So you believe in individual rights,
right,
right? Okay. Yeah. And so obviously, if you and some individuals who all lived together and created this thing called a state together as an individual, and you had this state that you guys had made and you joined this nation, you would still believe in states' rights, right?
right, true,
Okay. Okay. So we team up, we make a state. Those states have rights because the individuals within them made that state and they have rights. Okay.
exactly.
These these people viewed your ethnicity as property, brother. So to them, a lot of what the South fight was about was property rights and
Mm-hmm.
states' property rights. So there's people who might not be the least bit racist today, would pull over, change your tire, buy you a beer, want to hug and love on you, that to them that flag stands for the fact that they're an individual and the federal head shouldn't be able to stop their individuality. Okay, so that's why people behind their might fly it who are actually like good folks. And I'm not for it. I don't fly it. I ain't trying to fly it. What you call it? I like the way your flag is flown upside
Yeah,
down
yeah.
because America is in distress.
Right now, more than ever before.
Hey, amen. Amen. America is in distress. Seriously.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right about with regards to people holding on to the idea of what the flag represents and property rights. I even recommended a movie to you called Birth of a Nation with Matthew McConaughey.
I've watched that. Yay.
Fighting on behalf of the South, the Confederacy.
Oh, that. You're talking about Free State of Jones.
Or Free State of Jones, my bad.
Yeah, you recommended that movie. I hadn't seen that. Birth of a Nation's a different one.
Oh, yeah.
Birth of a Nation's a whole different thing.
Yeah. The newest one, yeah, that's about Nat Turner. But yeah, the first one, that's another story. If you guys haven't seen the original.
Yeah. And if you want to talk about restitution, the whole like jive and thing going on this time was the advertising in the newspapers and the media saying that that the blacks and the Mexicans and the natives when they smoked marijuana because the hemp was a product of the day, that they got crazy and they went out raping and killing white women and this, that, or the other because the capitalist DuPont was interested in making the carpet. The poor people, all nationalities, ethnicities rather, of the poor people were into hemp. Their ropes, their halters, their clothing, their blankets, so on and so forth, because they were in an agricultural type economy. Anyway, well, they outlawed it so that DuPont could make more money off a carpet, and they used the media system to pump and promote this, including that first movie, Birth of a Nation. And you want to talk about like restitution and rights for restitution? How about that poisoning of the water that they did there, sort of like the poisoned water in Allensworth, California?
Right. And you could again attack those companies or individuals,
right, exactly,
businesses directly,
exactly.
including the American government.
Except personally, I don't think you should go after money. I think people should go after assets. Like I don't want.
I'm with you on that.
Money from Dow. I think Dow DuPont Chemicals should have to release some land.
I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah. And some money. Take some money. We need money too. Money's good.
For sure. But yeah, you're right about that. Give up some of your assets. To me personally, I think the whole process would bankrupt a few of these businesses.
What a shame.
With them non-existent. But what I was talking about with the Free State of Jones, with that movie where Matthew McConaughey was fighting on behalf of the South, or not on behalf of the South.
On behalf of the Free State of Jones.
Exactly. On behalf of the Free State of Jones, which happened to be in the South.
Sure.
And you had some Southerners that were, of course, fighting for the South. And you had the Confederate soldiers, the Union soldiers come in to attack this area. Well, these people still wanted to be allowed to live freely, which is why they ended up taking up arms and fighting against the Union soldiers themselves. And a couple of those people that fought alongside them were free slaves, and people that were living in this community of the Free State of Jones. They're like, fuck it. If everybody's going to create a free state, we going to create a free state too. Hey, you're not a slave. You can live here too. Hey, we're all just going to live peacefully. And you had little cities like that pop up all around the country during the Civil War. But because of the demands of the Republicans and the Democrats, the Union, the Union
sides
and Confederate side, exactly. Both sides have political interests. They did not want people to be free. Period. And that's why we still live as products, property of the state to this day. The state is the government, and you live at the privilege of them. But anyways, I want to move along because we still got a lot to talk about. So one thing that you touched on was, this whole, what was it? The Birth of a Nation and the hypocrisy of it all to propagate about how Black people were violent, etc., Mexicans or whatever. But when it comes to being violent, it's always frowned upon that those that are being oppressed, those that are being attacked, when they strike back, happen to be criticized for their behavior. Oh no, you should be doing things peacefully, when they haven't done that themselves. America hasn't done that itself. It's been a very violent country. It's fought itself. It fights other countries. Even now, 9/11, when 9/11 happened, people wanted blood. So much so to where you had over a decade later, over 10-year span of just bloodshed being highlighted in the media. They even showed Gaddafi being dragged in the streets, Saddam Hussein being hung. They showed this on TV, and people felt good about it. White Americans felt good about it, and it's built upon aggression and violence. Why is the white non-aggression principle hypocritical? Because when you say treat your brothers, like how you want to be treated, the golden rule of life, and that non-aggression principle, treat everybody how you want to be treated. We don't see that being exercised here, but yet that's being demanded of us. Why is that?
That's not how we operate. I don't know what to tell you, brother. That's not how we operate. Most Americans believe Muslim terror is bad, and that we've been over there defending our freedom over there. Like so many of these people on that side just really have no clue of what we've been doing and what's been going on the past 20 something years in this country. Like they're deceived, sir, and they believe a narrative, and that doesn't make them bad people. They might be great good Samaritans in their lane and trying hard, doing well, and giving back, and all kinds of things, but that doesn't make them really aware of the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because the hypocrisy is so blatant that it's being spoken of in the media. If it's Fox News, they're talking about how, uh-oh, I lost you. I lost my guest. Hopefully he comes back here soon. But we were talking about how the non-aggression principle in this country as Americans isn't really expressed towards other American specific groups and other countries, but yet we demand that there be a certain level of respect and I guess civility when there is none being expressed. So hopefully we can get my guest back, TJ Sheldon, so we can continue discussing things. But any and all of you out there that are watching, if you have any comments or questions that you want to continue to speak with me about, definitely be sure to drop those here, and I'll get those live on the show. All right, I got my man TJ back. Let me see. TJ, I lost you there. You good?
Is that better? Yeah, unmuted. My phone says it's overheating, and it went and closed the app. I opened it back up.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, dude.
We're talking too much. Well, hey, I don't want to blow your phone up, man. But yeah, if you could just address what we were talking about a little bit more about the non-aggression principle not being respected here in America, especially when it comes towards Black Americans.
Well, they don't do it. Period. They're expecting it of people, something that they do not do and have not exercised really ever as a people. And even when it wasn't physically, behind the scenes, if you really look at the structure of the policy, it was still being done. It's like, better show your face at least, and know. I think that so many of them are so blind that again, the only hope for America to get this thing straight and not lose status as the world reserve currency and topple into oblivion and all of their titles and crap go away, just topple, okay, is for them to repent in this and to really make a honest showing of humility as a people group and come at fixing it. That's what I believe.
I think it's sort of happening to some degree. You're right. It's what's been going on has been, I guess, making things more aware to people and opening them up more consciously to to the hostile environment America truly is for people of color.
Outrageously so.
Yeah,
that's too broad, homie. That's too broad. Really, that's too broad. Narrow it down. Narrow it down.
Black people specifically.
Black family, black man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but they couple in our brown brothers too, and a couple of the Asians, and
oh man, all kinds of atrocities. All kinds of atrocities. Hey, some of them even got reparations.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. We'll discuss that at another time. But more to talk about One thing that I do want to talk to you about also is because you were talking about American doing its best to remedy the situation. Believe it or not, you actually have Republicans that are pushing to remove Columbus Day as a federal holiday and replace it with Juneteenth Day. This is happening right now under the Trump administration, not Obama. Okay, y'all. He could have done it on his own. He did not. Why? Because he don't give a flying fuck. But because we the people put pressure on our representatives, these two Republican congressmen are now pushing to federalize Juneteenth Day and take away Columbus Day. It's happening right now. And another thing that's being discussed is since we had, Juneteenth Day last month, which got a lot of attention thanks to, all of the protests bringing more awareness to the Black community and their plight, and as well as, their struggles. And Juneteenth Day became widely recognized. Trump even said he made it famous. So, so but since then, and Juneteenth Day was the day that the last slaves in this country that were in Texas were told, "Hey, you're free," even though it happened 2 years prior to. So
the ship came in. Amen. Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a day of liberation for Black people. It's called Jubilee Day. It's been celebrated ever since then in the Black community predominantly, and it's now again being considered to be recognized as a national holiday. So here we are now with Independence Day, the 4th of July here, and not too many people are feeling free this Independence Day. You got the coronavirus lockdown 2.0 being enforced not only here in California, but in other states throughout the country. You have the still systemic racism not being addressed, but them doing virtue signaling by, throwing on African garment and kneeling and painting Black Lives Matter on streets and shit. But
or reparations bills that aren't well worded that die in process, and people balk up them because they're getting in their pocket instead of coming at it smarter, not harder. Yeah, I get it.
And a lot of the argument from that white majority that feels like Black people should be obedient and respect, the image that they've created, feel like we should be celebrating Independence Day. And it should be a day of celebration just as it is for them. I talked about Juneteenth Day, and I said, growing up, my grandmother told me Juneteenth is our holiday. Independence Day is the white man's holiday. So with it being explained to me as a child, and then here I am as an adult, and I'm seeing white adults get angry because Black people don't want to celebrate 4th of July. Black people don't want to sing the Pledge of Allegiance and, stand for the flag. So should Black people celebrate Independence Day? Should they be demanded to? And why?
Absolutely not. Come on, man. What kind of question is that? Absolutely not. They absolutely should have the liberty to, if they choose to, right? They absolutely should have the liberty to if they should choose to. But boy, oh boy, I could understand surely why they might not.
Again, where you got this protection of an image and then thinking it's being diluted or it's being deconstructed in some sort of a way. They're going to hang on to every facet of it, including a holiday right now that should be a celebration of freedom when they themselves are having their freedoms restricted and limited and reduced.
Oh man, we've been giving away our freedoms for a long time. We're regulating ourselves to death. We going the way of Rome, homie. You know it. I know it. Hey, like I said, there's only one hope.
man. There's only one hope, man. That's to get the brothers and the white poor people and everybody on the same side coming at it, because that's our only hope. But like the way that things are set up now and have been, like in less white America, like really comes out about like saying, dude, we get it. We're like really showing some humility in it. How can we ever be on the same team? We can't get on the same team, man. We can't get on the same team if you can't even have the humility to take a knee when that anthem comes on because you're empathetic about it, man. I don't know that we can really get on that same team. Really.
I mean, really, I don't think any flag being presented in a sports arena is even necessary. Do you care more about winning a championship, or do you care more about, the flag? And I think as a sports owner, I would definitely care more about the championship. If I was a player or any affiliate of the team, I would care more about the championship. If I was a fan, I would care more about the championship than them kneeling or standing up over the flag. If you take it out altogether, take it out because it was implemented for a reason. That's a whole nother story about why they even started making the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever, the national anthem, why they even implemented that into.
Come on, it's the Coliseum, homie. It's the Coliseum. It's the Coliseum. It's the Coliseum.
And right, exactly. The way of Rome, like you said. So yeah. And when it comes to celebration of a holiday, you should want to do it on your own. You should be enthusiastic and motivated to do it on your own accord instead of now being demanded and forced to.
You mean you can choose your own holy days?
What's that?
You mean you can choose your own holy days?
You should be able
to. From your own perspective, in your own culture, in your own walk as your own human with your own family. No way. All right, cool. I like that. Me too.
Right. Yeah, make your own holiday, damn it. But anyways, we have this argument happening, and many of the people that seem to be, I guess, proposing these type of ideas and perpetuating this mentality are Trump supporters, are right wing, are people that again think that this administration is doing all that it is correctly, is doing all the right things. You were even a Trump supporter at some point. So I don't know if you still are, because I think I dispelled you from it in some way, but I do want to ask you.
I did not vote for Donald. I never watched The Apprentice. I've never been a fan of Donald's ever, prior to him running, during him running, so on and so forth. Donald was a wild card. Okay. Donald came out of left field and ended up in a driver's seat that nobody expected him to be in. They had other intentions and another hierarchical succession in mind. Donald was not expected. He's different. He's an anomaly. As far as I'm concerned, really, where he really screwed off the worst to me personally, and so many people that I know, is where he did his thing on Juneteenth in Tulsa. You mean you're gonna plan a rally, your first rally back, after all this COVID stuff, and you gonna pick Tulsa, and you gonna pick June 19th, you gonna pick Tulsa, where this young man caught a ride in an elevator and hit on a chick. He didn't do nothing to her, he didn't harm her, he didn't bother her, so on and so forth. He hit on a chick in an elevator. Chickie went home, told family wanted to go get old boy, community said no, and we escalate up from there into white people flying airplanes over and burning down a city. Like fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, real fucking shit. And a lot of people, they just, I don't know why they put it off like, oh, it happened in the past. This was 1940s. You have people around that still remember that, you know?
And he put a protest on that day in that place. And you can't tell me that nobody told him, nobody warned him. I don't buy that, man.
Of course, he has advisors. Somebody on his team knew exactly what they were doing. And that's where he's stoking the flames when it comes to race, being a race baiter.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. You want to talk about Sharpton race baiting? Come on, man.
oh yeah, he's another one. But yeah, when you talk about, eliminating racial tensions and curing the racial strife in this country, improving race relations, you would think that would be one of the concerns of the leader of the country, but it's
You
not.
would think. You would think.
Yeah, you would think, but it's one of his least concerns right now. To him, it's not important. To a great majority of people that support him, they think it's not supported, and they think it's all pretty much just a leftist agenda, and are pushing it off as such a thing, even though it affects all of us, whether you're on the
Yeah,
left.
well, there's a difference between liberal and left, right? There's a big difference between liberal and left. Liberal fights for humans, right? You can have a liberal mindset. You're interested in other humans, their empowerment, their ability to have ladders to climb in life to get ahead, like their overall wellness, so on and so forth. And that's different from left, if you ask me. Like far leftist is part of the whole control scheme thing that's going on. The hierarchical lust for power and control. Uh, and they'll partner with anybody to like grow their team to be able to like be in charge anyway. And that's sad. Like we are so lost as a civilization of humans in America today. We for the most part don't even know our own friend from foe.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, do you think the Trump train is on the right track?
Um, I
Especially
think
leading into this election.
heading into this election, I'll tell you this: I like him over Joe. I like Mark Charles over either one of them.
Wait,
Uh,
Joe Biden? Because you got Joe Jorgensen, who's the Libertarian candidate for president.
yeah, see, I don't know that Joe.
See,
I don't know that. I can promise you this: that Joe would have my vote way before Trump or Joe Biden. Okay, before either one of those. And the only way Trump could win my vote, is if he stepped and like really came hard at like, yes, absolutely, pursue restitution under my watch. We're gonna get you that federal land. We're gonna push states to get you that state. Like if he came out with something like that, I could be like, yeah, that's right. Come on, Trump. Let's
see,
make
this
America.
is where no, fuck that. This is where people that still support the two-party system lose me. It's wishful thinking to think that, oh well, at some point they're gonna have this epiphany and make these changes. Trump just turned 70 fucking 4. He's stuck in his ways. Biden is what, 73 or 71 or 76 or something like that. I think he's older than fucking Trump. But even still, these guys are locked in his way. And you got Biden's ass talking about, if you ain't black if you don't vote for me. Please remember that you co-authored the damn 94 crime bill. Well, it's a track record. And with looking at Biden's track record, looking at Trump's track record, since, like you said, he's an infiltrator. He had 4 damn years in office. And look at what fucking state our country it is. It is not great. If it's great for you, then I don't know what is it? Block of American, you are in. You must be the essential people, the top of the tier essential oligarchy part of that America. Because the majority of us, the 99%, are suffering. We're not happy. And Trump has not made us happy people. So, Joe Jorgensen, she is running for president of the United States of America. She is the libertarian candidate right here. And if you look her up, I'm pretty sure you would favor her over Trump, over Biden, and you would get away from the mentality of thinking, well, they need to do this to win me over, because that shit ain't gonna happen.
I like Mark Charles. I'll check out your chick though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know who Mark Charles is, but I'll check him out. We can
Yeah,
exchange on that one.
yeah.
Jeremiah says, if you don't recognize the country that feeds you and gives you freedom, you are disrespecting your country. If you kneel to the flag in another country, if you burn the flag or kneel, you go to jail. Be glad you live in America. You're absolutely right. Because in America, you can do those things.
Amen. We can.
Yeah. Amen. God bless America.
That's what
And
we were talking about. Individual rights, right? Individual rights. We have the
exactly.
individual right too.
Right. And then you have oh, my man, he says Trump has already done a lot for black people already. He did prison reform, the first step,
Amen.
and
Amen.
donated millions of dollars to HBCUs.
Amen.
Boo!
What?
Boo!
Why?
Boo! I'm gonna tell you why. All of that shit is nothing but anecdotal.
It
It's
beats nothing. It
anecdotal.
beats nothing. It beats nothing. Shut
How
up. It beats
about get
nothing.
education altogether? That way, dollars isn't going towards any damn school, whether you're going to a historical black college, whether you're going to Yale, whether you're going to some bumfuck college that now has gone defunct because they swindled you out of thousands of dollars.
They've
Okay.
been swindling us.
It's like, people, do your fucking homework here. They're playing the same bullshit system to make it seem like government needs to do this in order to make things better. How about get the fuck out of the way and I will make things better my damn self? That's what Trump could do for black people. Get the fuck out of our way so we can do shit on our own. You really wait. This reform, prison reform? Are you kidding me? Has he ended the war on drugs? Has he decriminalized just marijuana on its own? Which would definitely help out black people, not only that are free right now, but in jail. I got my man frozen right there. Hopefully his phone didn't overheat again. But I'm definitely overheating talking about all of this dumb shit because you people really got to wake up to the truth of what's going on. Stop being brainwashed by the mainstream media. Stop believing the hype. Don't believe the lies. Start researching, finding out things for yourselves because none of those things have actually trickled down to help those who actually need that help. So I don't give a damn about any HBCU getting millions of dollars when, again, they could be getting more of that money if government got out of the way. And I don't want tax dollars being funneled to any college for any type of education, which just happened in the Supreme Court. They just made it lawful for your tax dollars now to be used towards people that want to go to a religious school, a school of faith, which is okay. It's a private school, though. You should be funding that your damn self, just like your education. You should be funding it your damn self. Most of us are autodidacts. We study and do it our damn self. Find out we have to deprogram after we get out of the grade school, system because much of what we learn is wrong. Much of what we learned isn't applicable to actual everyday life. So we got to start first with making sure that we're becoming more informed about the truths that exist. Unfortunately, I lost my guest. I had one more good question that I was hoping to ask him before I wrapped up this show, but I think I probably made his phone die out or whatever the case. So I'm just going to talk with you guys a little bit more before I wrap things up. But with regards to these conversations that we were having, these topics, I figured that we could just be blunt and have some black and white truths about black and white issues. Hopefully, we did exactly that. And this Independence Day, if you want to get out there, you truly want to celebrate freedom, I would say connect with your brothers and sisters that don't look like you, that don't sound like you, that don't think like you, so we can talk and come to a greater resolution as a community. Put aside all of our differences. Understand our differences, understand our culture as Americans, because we definitely have more things in common than not. So that's what I'm asking for any and all of you this Independence Day. If you are going to celebrate it, that would be the best way. And by being defiant, because right here in California, they have imposed another lockdown, can't go to beaches, can't go to meet with family members or friends, can't go to barbecues, can't do any of that stuff. And I would say again, exercise your freedom. Definitely go out there and do all of those things against the wishes of the authorities, because you have the right to think for yourself. Yes, Wes Holmes, I cut my hair. Do you like it? Believe it or not, this is how I used to look before I met my wife about 8-9 years ago, and started growing my hair. So I would have looked like this the entire time had she not came into my life. But I'm glad you love the live streams. Thank you so much for watching. He's out there in Milltown, so much love to you, Wes Holmes, from Milltown, for watching and tuning in to the Black Side of Liberty. All of you out there for making your comments. Jeremiah with your crazy ass. We're going to talk more. Jaden, Brandon, Tiffany Kramer, we definitely got to talk, as well as Andreas and Anthony. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting during the program. And hopefully I can have you all come back to the Black Side of Liberty soon, because I will be coming back next week, Tuesday, for another episode. I'm going to keep this going for as long as possible, but I couldn't do this without your support. So please definitely run over to the website, governorwildstyle.com, and contribute whatever you can. Make any donation that you can, whether it's $2, $20, $200, $2,000. If you got it, I'll take it. It definitely will be spent very wisely right here, managed correctly. All your money goes to me. It don't go to any, special interest group. If you donate to Black Lives Matter, it goes to Act Blue, a portion of it, and then it gets funneled into other political campaigns on the Democratic Socialist side, progressives, whatever the case may be. Anyways, yeah, donate on governorwildstar.com. Money goes to me directly and goes into fueling this liberty movement that we're creating here. Not only this platform that we're providing to give a voice to those out there that want to get away from the two-party system, want to learn more about libertarianism, want to learn more about the cultural differences that we have here in America as Americans. And I want to be the champion of that in every way, shape, or form. I also am forming an exploratory committee, since Governor Gavin Newsom is being recalled. That's right. RecallGavin2020.com. Please visit the website. If you live in California, if you have friends, family members, know of business associates, exes, whatever the case may be, if they live in California, let them know the recall Gavin Newsom is going on right now. We need all the help that we can get. The requested signatures is 1.5 million. We're trying to hit 3. We need to double that, because the last 2 times that we've attempted to recall Governor Newsom, they have been unsuccessful. We need this third one to be as successful as possible. So definitely, please, again, get involved by going to recallgavin2020.com, printing out the petition, signing it, getting 9 other friends of yours to signing it, and submitting that as soon as possible, because we need to get his ass out of office and get me in there. Like I said, I'm filing it. Created an exploratory committee for Governor of California for this year, 2020. If we can get this special election to be completed and get Gavin Newsom's out of office. If not, it'll be 2022 when I'll be officially running then. But yeah, let's get rid of Gavin Newsom, Jeremiah says. And yes, please go to recallgavin2020.com, sign the petition. Let's get rid of him. And let's see. Also, please definitely vote. vote libertarian. If you live in the city right now, if you live in the state where you are still having your primary election, please get involved in that election. Trump already got his nomination locked in. Joe Biden already got his nomination locked in with the Democrats. So they're good. Vote for Jo Jorgensen. She has the nomination for the Libertarian Party, and the more votes that she gets, the more prominent that she seems as a candidate. And we want that to happen because if she reaches a certain percentage, then she'll be allowed into the presidential debates as a third candidate. That's what we want. We want another third person on that stage. We want another voice that will speak up for we the people and what we truly want and desire here in our country. So please definitely vote libertarian. Jeremiah says, cool show, bro. Keep up the good work. I'm going to definitely do my best. And like I said, I need your help and support, Jeremiah's and everyone else that was watching this, to just keep spreading the word. Keep definitely helping me expand my audience and grow, because as an influencer, I guess that's what they call what we're called these days, as an influencer, as an activist, the way I'm going to be taken more seriously is if I have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of millions of people supporting me in every way, shape, or form. So please help me in that effort, because I need you to make that successful. Okay. And if you really truly enjoyed this episode, definitely come back next week, Tuesday, because I'm going to be having Myra Matika. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Mateshka. I don't know. I'm going to talk to her on Tuesday. She's running as a House District candidate out there in Iowa. So please definitely tune in next week, Tuesday. We're going to talk with Myra about her campaign and talk with her more about the Black side of liberty. And all of you beings of light, art, culture, and knowledge out there, I appreciate you for tuning in. Definitely have a safe and happy holiday weekend. And be sure to show your brother some love, all right? And to all of you out there, like I said, definitely tune in next week, Tuesday, and we'll talk more. Until then, long live liberty, and may the light of God and liberty shine on each and every one of you. Peace.